Welcome to A History of Horror. If you haven't seen my previous videos, you can find them on my YouTube channel by clicking the link below. We've covered the antique silent movies of the 1920s, the golden age of the 1930s, and moved a little bit into the noir genre of the 1940s. So today we'll continue on that journey with 1942's Cat People, directed by Jacques Tourneur. While Universal was cranking out their series of monsters, AHoH is doing their own thing, but on a much smaller budget. They're better known for the two biggest icons in film history, King Kong and Citizen fucking Kane. But other than that though, they produced mostly B-flicks. Cat People is better known for its producer Val Lewton. AHoH didn't seem to care about the quality as much, so his job was just to make movies fast and cheap. They would just give him a title and have him do whatever he thought would work. With a title like Cat People, they were probably expecting a sci-fi, but what they got instead would be completely different and make horror history. The story is about a Serbian fashion designer named Irina living in New York City. While sketching a panther at the zoo, she meets a nice man named Oliver, and they hit it off pretty well.
Perhaps, Mr. Reed, you would like to have tea in my apartment?
Oh, Mr. Frog.
She invites him to her apartment, and they become affectionate toward one another. However, they still keep it rather modest. As their relationship develops, Irina tells Oliver that she believes she's descended from the cat people from her Serbian village, and she's afraid that she'll transform into a panther if she feels too passionate. With this on the table, they still decide to get married, with Irina wanting to avoid anything that would make her feel too aroused.
Oliver, be kind, be patient. Let me have time. Time to get over that feeling there's something evil in me.
Yeah, it sounds like the start of a great marriage. Later on, Oliver gets all flirty with his assistant, and Irina gets pissed. Okay, now she's gone looking for trouble. There's plenty of symbolism to unpack with this movie. I think the most vivid, though, is the sense of repressed sexuality. Irina is afraid to be intimate, but at the same time she yearns for it. It could almost be considered a female version of the Wolfman, which came out the year before. Many people would say that the sexual revolution started in the 1960s, but it actually began in the 1940s. Women took a more active role in the home front during World War II, and with this new autonomy, they started seeing sex as a form of pleasure rather than a means of raising a family. This can be seen with the rise of unplanned pregnancies and cases of VD that took place during that time. My favorite part about Cat People is that they managed to create a good horror movie with a low budget by focusing on the things you don't see. You never actually see a cat person. Like the scene right here. This type of thing can be seen countless times in later horror movies, especially when something scary turns out to be non-threatening. I don't have much else to say about the 1940s. By this point, Universal was creating a monster sequel each year, but my main recommendations from this group would be Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman and Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Also around this time, Alfred Hitchcock directed Rope and Shadow of a Doubt. These are two of my favorite movies from his collection, so definitely check those out. Well guys, thanks for tuning in to the first episode of Volume 2. Also please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and look out for my next video which will take us into the 1950s. Thanks again for watching, I'll see you next time.